Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an Object 279. In fact, it's two Object 279Es. Probably the worst thing that the enemy wants to see in a battle. This one is on the south spawn of Serene Coast under the command of Chaos the Toxic. And alongside him is his teammate Udo. Sorry, I can't pronounce that name, so we'll just call you Udo. Okay, game on. Looks like both of them are headed off to the peninsula, which is of course a good place to go if you're a heavy tank on this map. Well, 279E blueprint was designed 1947-48. It's a 4-track heavy tank with the compartment for the crew compartment actually is above the tracks. So if you aim underneath the vehicle, you're not going to get much damage. And of course, having 4 tracks also makes it, well, less vulnerable to mine damage, because if the mine goes off, it'll actually be absorbed by the tracks. But it also means that the vehicle is much more likely to get immobilized if it does get hit by a mine. But it's a very, very difficult tank to defeat. It doesn't have much gun depression though. It's only 5 degrees, and well, that's a bit of a problem here. Well, he didn't get actually damaged other than the tracks, but he did get around into the 705, but the Viz 55 managed to get around into him for 423, and he fired one back at the Object 268. Now he's got a 122mm gun, which is capable of 440 alpha, and his reload time, standard reload, 10.07 seconds. He's got 7.92, so he's managed to shave off 2 seconds. You can see it's very easy to bounce some of these rounds. He's just blocked around from a Hesh barn using the premium ammo. Okay, bumps one into the enemy Object 279 because he turned himself sideways, made it easy to pen. Remember where the weak spots are on that vehicle. You've either got the cupola or you've got a spot on the side, on the right hand side of the vehicle where the ammo rack is on this tank. And another one, actually it was the Death Star, not a Hesh barn. There's the Death Star. Side of the turret, easy pen. Shouldn't have done that actually. He should have pulled back and only presented himself to Chaos. But Chaos has now racked up 3.3k of damage and almost as much of blocked. Now his platoon mate's still alive. Udo. I seem to recall... Oh, nice shot to the 268. I seem to recall that on Stargate SG-1 there was a character named Udo. I wonder. No, I don't think it's the same one. Oh, that Superconk managed to get around in a 120mm round. Got a high roll for 414. And it looks like the enemy Object 279 is trying to get round on the other side of the hill. He's well behind us now. And he's gone. Okay, and Udo got him. Okay, Superconk, we've been hit by him. Go for the lower plate. Yes, lower plate is the weak spot of the E100. Okay, trying to go for cupola. No, he actually takes the front of the vehicle on the 705, but we do take one in return. Mind you, he only fired HE at us, and I think that's because he's having difficulty penetrating otherwise. The lower plate of the Superconk also takes a hit, but it's a low roll. Oh no, that one didn't work. I think that hit the upper plate of the 100, but he's ignoring our Superconk and only looking at us. And yeah, that premium round went straight through his turret. That flat plate at the front of the turret is a weak spot. He's looking at us, but there you go, he's out the game. So, good game so far, 2 kills. Pushing on. That 705 still poking up. There you go, still got your front plate, but that one didn't get in, and the enemy blocked the house as well. Okay, get it, low plate, yes! And he's now one shot, 446, it's a high roll. Last shot. Oh, didn't pen, but the 705 dies anyway. And that's Viz 55. Well, he's a 2 shots. And there's the enemy, the other enemy 279E. Pumps one through that spaced armor on the turret of the Viz 55. He's trying to waggle himself. He's saying, no, you're not going to get me. If he waggles like that, it'll probably block the shot from the Viz because it won't get a proper capture. And there goes the Viz. Taken out of the game by the AMX M454. And that is the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the second class tanker for Chaos the Toxic in the Object 279. He managed to get a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a Hand of God for surviving the battle having received damage from 4 different enemies, a Fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, and a Shell Proof for blocking more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle. He also picked up a couple of Battle Hero medals because he got the Steel Wall for blocking the most damage in the game, and also a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. Let's have a look at team score and see exactly how well they did. Well, we can see that both members of the platoon, Chaos and Udo, managed to get the highest damage in the game. Chaos managed 6,888 hit points of damage, whilst Udo managed 5,895. So between them, over 12,000 hit points of damage. That's a huge amount, and it shows that the platoon was carrying the team. The next highest damage in the game after them was the Viz 55 on their own team with 3,910. When it came to kills, it was in fact the AMX M454 who did the best with 3 kills, alongside the T95E6 on the enemy team, and a whole bunch of tanks managed to get 2 kills apiece, including Chaos and Udo, and that included the Viz 55, the Progetto 65, the Object 277, and only one member of the enemy team managed to get 2 kills, and that was their Striv 103B. When it came to base XP, yep, you've guessed it, Chaos, the Toxic, and Udo both managed to get over 1,200. In fact, 1,298 went to Chaos, 1,213 went to Udo. So, great game by both of them. We can see that Chaos fired 20 rounds. Every round hit the target, but not every round penetrated. The Object 705 managed to block at least one shot. So, yeah, sometimes you just can't pen even if you use premium ammo. 6,888 hit points of damage, all of it done at close range. 18 hits received from the enemy, so easily qualified for the Steel Wall, and you need 11 to do that, and to get the most block damage. 3 penetrations, 14 non-penetrations, and 1 hit by way of splash when the enemy gave up, trying to lob armor piercing at him, instead tried to destroy him with HE. 6,310 hit points of damage blocked by armor, so he almost blocked as much damage as he actually gave out, and between them combined damage of over 13,000. Yeah, that's a pretty good score. 7 enemy vehicles spotted, 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 killed, 1,015 hit points of spotting assist. 61,360 credits on a premium account, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, he actually made a loss, but he did fire premium ammo and quite a lot of heat, and you need to if you're going to get that sort of results. 43,345 credits lost, but I don't think you'll be worried about that in the slightest. 1,298 XP, 97 for this being a premium vehicle, 292 for playing a platoon, and took away 2,336 experience points altogether. So, a very good round in the Object 279E, and he says totally balanced. Well, yes, but this is the score up by the 2 Object 279s on Chaos's team. Just look at how badly they did on the enemy team. Yes, one of their 279s managed 1,336. The other one, where is he? Where are you? There you are, 2,220. So they did very, very poorly compared to Chaos and Udo. So you can see it does depend on the player. Just because you've got a really good tank does not necessarily mean you're going to get a very high score. And the 279 tank is a very good tank, very good heavy, but it does rely on the player. And of course, Chaos and Udo were really good in this battle. They managed to get great results. So that's the end of the first battle. Let's have a look at the second one. And the second game is in the T30, the Tier 9 American tank destroyer, located on the southeast spawn of Fjords. And unfortunately, Udo's not in this game. 2 marks of excellence on the barrel of the tank destroyer. I mean, it is listed as a tank destroyer, but it's one of 4 heavy tanks that were designed by the Americans to counter the Soviet heavy tanks that they saw after the end of the Second World War. The 4 tanks were the T29, the T30, this one here, the T32 and the T34, and they all differed because they had different guns, but basically it's the same layout, but just different thicknesses of armour. As you know, the T34 had the 120mm gun, the T32 carried the 90mm gun, the T29 carried a 105mm, and this one carries a 155mm gun instead. In actual fact, there was slight differences in the armament, but the prototypes were all built between 45 and 47. They underwent trials in 1948. There's one of these at the National Cavalry and Armour Museum at Fort Benning in perfect condition. Don't think it's actually being driven around or anything like that, but it is there for the training of the armour crewmen. Nice shot straight through the lower plate of the leather. All the armour he had left as he's claimed his first kill. Now the 155mm gun will actually do 750 alpha, and oh, he's being focused on by the Object 261, who's obviously behind him back in the enemy territory. He's probably at the far end of the towards the centre of the map, I'd say. Oh, he got a nice pen there on the Object 2684, 831, which is a high roll because of that 750 alpha. And another 807 this time, another high roll. The Arty hasn't tried another shot at him. In fact, that shot by the Arty was 210 hit points, which kind of indicates it was probably a near miss. Go for the viewport. Didn't get it this time. You notice how he was actually aiming for the weak spot, which is the viewport on top of the object. Either that or to hit the sides or the rear. Yeah, he's moved forward. He's still showing his weak spot, but he pulls back just in time to avoid a shell. But we can still see him. Okay. Yes! Kill! Only 249 left at that point, but it is definitely a kill. Now, he's not going to push forward just yet because there's still the Conqueror and the TNH to deal with. So he's going for the top cupola of the Conqueror, which is basically all you can aim for when they go hull down, because the Conqueror's got 10 degrees gun depression as well. So same as this tank. The turret on the T30 is very, very strong actually. It's 279.4mm at the top of the turret on the front. And he got a pen, but it's a low roll on the Conqueror, but we lost our Jaegeru. Taken out by the TNH. Still focusing on the Conqueror. He's showing us his top. Oh, didn't pen that time. Ricocheted off. Now the TNH I think's made a bit of a mistake there. Yep, because he lost 650 there, but he did get around into us for 498, so fair exchange. We've made more off that one. And there goes the TNH, taken out by our TNH, which means now the Conqueror is vulnerable. And so Chaos is going to seize the opportunity to go ahead and try and take that guy out. If he can get it with one shot, it'd be nice. Tried to go for the turret ring there, didn't get it. Used the wreck of the Lerva for cover, and whilst that's doing, our TNH decides to go through, And so we might as well follow, because we'll be loaded by the time we get there. And there's the kill. So, good kill. 3 kills now. Now, we're 2 up on the enemy at the moment, but he's being very cautious at this moment because there might be an enemy waiting behind those bushes for us. Yes, there was. It was an Emil. And we just got hit by the enemy Arty as well, which is the Lorraine 15551, the French Tier 8. It's a Tier 10 game. If you ever want to see the real T30, oh, Arty trying to get us again. There's a picture of Sophie lying on one of them. She actually visited the museum, and I think somewhere I've got it. I might include that if I can find it. She does love her heavy tanks. And the Emil goes down in the end to our Emil 1. An Emil 2 taken out by an Emil 1. Okay, side of a Bisonte. Go for the hull, it's the weak spot. Yes! And a high roll. 779. He's still there, but he's a one-shot now for us. And he's pulled back behind the rocks, so we might as well move. Our teammates are getting up there fairly quickly. We've lost our commander and our loader actually at the moment, so our reload time has gone up tremendously. Standard reload is 20.13, and at the moment he's got 1711. He's put his loader back in, so it's a 3-second benefit, but the commander's still out. Oh, good pen and a fire, and he gets the kill on the Scorpion. So that's 4 kills, and he's bouncing rounds coming from an ISU 152K who must be over the river and shooting from those bushes. So he's pulling back, and I think he's going to change direction and go round the other side. I think you can probably see that the weak spot on this vehicle is that big cupola right at the back there. It's fairly visible from the front, but you can actually punch through a shell on the lower plate. On the hull, it's 102mm at the front, 76 at the sides and 51 at the rear. That Bisonte's still there. I'm wondering if he's pulling back because that Leopard might be trying to make a play to try and get to our cap and kill our Arty, and then try and cap out whilst we're distracted elsewhere. Chaos has managed to get 20% of the enemy hit pool so far, so that means he's potentially got a high caliber. Doesn't guarantee it, but it means potentially he has. And there's the Leopard. He hasn't moved from his general spot, which was up on that chine. Grid square A5. And, oh, STA 1. And he takes a hit, a high roll for 771, but he can't pen us. And we've popped behind the rock to reload. Enemy Arty? Yes. That was kind of expected. The enemy Arty can't hit the Emil 2 at the moment, and I don't think he can see where the 261 or our GW are. So obviously we were the obvious target for the Arty. And Chaos has decided he needs to pull back, because if he doesn't, then the Arty's going to have another go. Oh, Leopard goes with one shot. Now, yeah, he has dodged behind the rock for cover. The STA's gone, so he doesn't have to worry about that from the left, but he does have to worry about Arty, and that's a splash for 124. He is a one-shot for the ISU 152K, and also for the Bisonte, really, for that matter. But the Bisonte is probably holding back the Emile 2. Oh, he fired in a different direction now. So the Object 261 has fired. Or was it not Object 261? It's a Lorraine. And there's the 152K on the move. Thank you. And now it's just 4 against 2. We just don't know where the Bisonte is. He could be looking at us or looking in this direction right now. There's the Arty. He's over the river. He's just waiting for him to get spotted. The Emile 2 is moving up. So if the Emile 2 sees the Bisonte, Chaos will get a chance to get a shot. He's going to wait and see if the Emile spots anything. He's getting closer. He's anticipating. Oh! No, I'm not sure if he meant to do that. I think he didn't mean to do that, because that's why he did that shaking movement. He was a bit annoyed with himself for doing that. Those rounds are expensive. Okay, he's going to go the long way round. The Emile hasn't found the Bisonte. I wonder where that Bisonte's gone. He might have actually gone all the way down south. But no, they think that the somebody's crossed the river. I think that's definitely the Lorraine. Okay, he's got to the 4 point and he's across. Oh, and the Bisonte's just been killed by the Emile. So he didn't go south, and the Lorraine is taking fire. So the Emile's killed him, and that's the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for Chaos the Toxic in the T30. Managed to get an arsonist for setting fire to one of the enemy tanks and watching them burn. That was the Scorpion. He also got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, as well as a shell proof for blocking more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. A high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and he did get a top gun as well for getting at least 6 kills. In fact, he got that 6th kill when he took out the ISU 152K. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he got the highest damage with 8,237. The next high scorer in that game actually was the enemy Leopard with 2,373, followed by their Object 268 version 4 with 2,199. When it came to kills, he had the highest number with 6. Next highest was the Leopard with 4 kills. 3 kills went to the Emile 2 and the GW Tiger P. And when it came to base XP, he's easily got the highest. In fact, I think nearly double the next highest scorer. He managed to get 1,701. The TNH TViz 51 only managed to get 892. And the third highest was the Emile with 819. Chaos fired 17 rounds, got 16 direct hits and 13 penetrations. Good accuracy again. 8,237 hit points of damage, of which 1,614 were at more than 300 meters. He received 9 hits from the enemy, 1 penetrated, 6 non-penetrations, and 5 hits by way of splash as well. Yes, when the enemy can't get you with a penetration shot, they tend to switch to HE to try and blast you instead. 2,230 hit points of damage blocked by armor, 2 enemy vehicles spotted, 10 enemy vehicles engaged and damaged, 6 killed, and 320 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 66,219 credits from the game, 19,866 from battle payments, a total of 119,195 credits altogether, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, and yes, he did fire some premium ammo, but not a lot, ended up with a profit of 4,228 credits altogether. 1,701 XP times 2 for the first victory, an additional 5,104 for personal missions payout, and took away 10,208 experience points altogether. Yes, he pretty much dominated that battle, you could say. Yes, he says T30 domination. Well, it was because he was doing the most damage for his team, obliterating that Object 268 version 4. One of their best players was being torn apart because he was aiming the shells specifically for the weak spot, and it was just going through virtually every time. Not every time, but virtually every time. And so he managed to extract a massive amount of damage out of the enemy, took out the roadblocks, and then was able to move on and kill enemy tanks with just one shot from a long way away. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.